This is the best part.
I'm scared. Do you hear yourself talking?
A little bit, yeah. Pop those on. And we'll just... So you're just going to talk right into the top of that thing. So just spin this around your way. There you go. Just like that.
That's annoying. Okay. It's like when you hear your own voice on like an answering machine, you're like, oh, that's terrible.
You get used to it. Believe me, I hate the way my voice sounds to myself. You're always going to.
Mm-hmm.
Like anytime that I hear myself like through a recording, I'm like, oh God, you sound like shit. You know?
Danielle has to listen to me.
Yeah. We were just talking about, just as part of our audio check here, you know? We were talking about kids, how they're growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Like we didn't worry about cell phones.
No.
We didn't worry about that shit. Kids are taking pictures of the dicks.
I think our topic just diverted.
This is how it usually works when Danielle and I are recording, is like I come up with something and then my brain just takes over.
Like squirrel?
Wherever it goes, and it just, which is why she doesn't want to do this with me no more. She's like, I've had enough.
She has to deal with you after the fact too. So to be fair.
Yeah. The best part of it is being able to like wash your hands of it as soon as you're done recording. Right. It's over, But our kids are like the same age.
Yeah.
They should be friends.
It's been almost.
And here they are awkwardly sitting on the other side of the room from one another. Isn't that crazy?
And they could be talking about which classes they're failing.
I know. They could talk about that,
I'm not even happy about it.
It's okay though. Because honestly, here's my thought on this, okay? Who gives a shit?
We do.
We do. They don't.
I know, but I don't know how to like convey that, like, even if, because I don't know if Valentina says like, I'm trying. I don't know.
Don't worry about it. Just keep going.
I don't know. I don't know if Valentina is more aloof about it and like, it's just, it's only a 54. And I'm like, but what the
Wow, you guys have the same grade. A 54. She's got it in math. You've got it in what?
Science. Oh, fantastic. It still needs
So she's passing.
It needs to be a high C for her to not be grounded.
I get it. And I told Valentina the same thing. Like, just pass it. Just pass it. I don't care what it is. But truthfully, they are not going to school for that. They're going to school for friends. And that's what you went to school for. The only person that went to school to get good grades was Danielle. Total nerd. Total geek in school. She was like the top of her class, She excelled at that one thing, and that's all she could focus on was like grades. Here we are in the same exact house, huh? We ended up in the same place. I'm not talking shit. She's mad. Nah, I pissed her off now.
I mean, I guess unless you already have a plan of like, I want to be an engineer or like, I want to be this or that. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Like, then the grades definitively matter because you're going to be trying to get into like specific colleges and programs and stuff like that. But for like normal, like mainstream kids, like they're not thinking about those things or.
Yeah, most kids are not thinking about like what the future holds. And maybe they shouldn't. We worry about that stuff. As adults, we care so much more about what our kids' grades are because it's a reflection of us.
Yeah, well, I mean, we want them to do well also. It's not like, you can fail it. It's fine. Like,
well, I certainly don't want her to fail it because it's definitely not okay because her going to school, that's part of her commitment to being a good student is getting good grades.
Right.
It's not necessarily just her hanging out with friends.
Mhm.
That there is a learning curve in there too. But I'm like, you know, nothing that she's going to learn in that math class in advanced algebra.
Unless they're doing something specific, like with that kind of a
Right.
degree, you know, like engineering or, you know, something that's geared more towards that stuff.
I do a lot of stuff with numbers. I don't I don't ever remember looking at anything that she's brought home and like I have to do that. You know,
Mhm.
like every single day I have to make sure that I know, you know, what the
formula for
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
Well, I stopped being able to even help them with their homework in like 4th, 5th grade. Like
Very
math,
true.
I'm just like,
I think that was purposely done though, especially when it comes to math. Like I think they changed the way that we were able to interfere. You know, so they changed the way that they teach it because they're like, we don't want the parents to interject in what we're trying to teach here.
like the Common Core.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like that, because the way they do math now is like, whoa, what the hell is this? I didn't understand what she was bringing home in 3rd grade.
Yeah, because that's, I think, when they kind of started implementing that whole program.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, break this down into 16 more steps. And I'm like, why can't you just do this times this is this? Like,
Exactly.
so it was a fight like every night to help them with homework because the way that we were able to show them how to do it, they're like, that's not right. And I'm like, we're getting the same answer, like, but their teachers wanted them to show their work.
True.
So if they weren't breaking it down that way, they were getting marked off for it.
Yeah. And it just makes it like, it makes it more of a pain in the ass for you as the parent trying to teach it.
Mm-hmm. And help with homework.
And whatnot. Because of course, like if there's then at that point, it's also a lot more pressure on the teacher themselves because now they're the only ones that can explain it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Super awesome.
Yeah. That's the school districts, man. That's what they've done. Common Core, whatever. You know, they have all these like, what do they call it? Not algorithm, but they have all of these acronyms. They have all these acronyms now. STEM.
Oh.
STEAM.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, you're like, what is this
What's
shit?
The difference?
Yeah. What is all these like different acronyms that they're throwing out at us? You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what any of this actually stands for. Science, technology. What is the E? Engineering. There you go.
They're pushing
and
that
math.
hard. What's the A? Is there STEAM? Is it really STEAM? It's just STEM? Okay.
STEM?
There's no STEAM.
Oh, there's no steam? I thought there was a steam in some parts, no? So our kids are, your daughters are, you got 2 daughters.
Yeah.
12?
She'll be 13 on the 12th. This month.
Okay. Wow. That's crazy. You're going to be a teenager. And Cam is she driving now?
No, she passed her permit test, but she's not.
Wow. So she drives with you?
No, like she passed the test, but we haven't physically gone to the DMV to like get her physical permit.
Got you. So that's like the next step for her then.
The permit part, yeah. The licensing part can wait because insurance is astronomical.
Who was you? Oh, for a kid?
Yep.
Oh shit.
So we're like, I love you. You're not getting
It's not happening right
while.
now.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Get her a golf cart. It might be cheaper.
Oh my God. You still have to insure it.
You're not allowed to have a golf cart in this community. Do you know that?
Okay, tell that to the 38 people that have them.
There's a lot of people in this community with golf carts.
With underage children.
That are driving them.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is that they're leaving me notes that saying I got to take down the lights that are on my what do they call it? The facade, not the facade. What do they call that thing?
Fascia?
Soffit. Yeah.
Oh.
I got to take down the lights that are attached to the soffit. And I put the permanent Govee lights. So I wouldn't have to remove them during Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Like after Christmas, I can put, green up there for St. Patrick's Day, red, white, and blue for the 4th of July, right? So for Easter, I had some pastels. I don't know. Did you see them?
No.
They were flashing and shit. Danielle was calling me fucking crazy for having them.
I mean, she's not wrong.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong. They looked ridiculous. I'll admit. But I had them all like matching. You know, the lights on the ground, the lights on the soffit, the whole thing.
And somebody
took a picture of it and sent it, so I got a picture of my house with them all lit up and shit in the fucking mail. Somebody who's probably driving a golf cart that's driving around the community. See, don't throw what do they say? Don't throw rocks when you live in a glass house.
Mm-hmm.
One of the guys who always is in the Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
You're famous in the Facebook group, okay?
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
I've decided that I don't think I want to be an anonymous poster.
There's a few anonymous posters. One of them,
I'm like, you know,
one of them was me, and I would throw some stuff in there just to stir shit up.
Oh, like a reply, an anonymous reply.
It's a reply. And it would. And it would get people going, dude.
Oh,
it would
yeah.
be so funny.
Like poking the bear.
Oh yeah. And I did it on purpose. Like I have no, like my comments are mine. You know what I mean? I stand behind them. But every once in a while, I was like, yeah. I'm going on the other side of the fence just to throw rocks.
Like Wilson.
Keeps this shit going.
Just
Yeah.
Just peeking over the fence a little bit.
Yeah. Yogi Bear. You're about to pull that camera down. I need you to lay down and get out from there. Go ahead. Thank you. I have the wire going from underneath the table.
Tail that's gonna
Yeah. All curled up. Because he can't chill. He's so excited that he's got company. He thinks that you guys are here for them. So, the Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We live in an HOA. It's a small community, 200 homes, maybe 300 homes.
It's a decent amount.
It's a decent amount. It's a pretty nice sized community. There's a Facebook group.
There is.
And there's people that complain about everything. There's some complaints are worth it.
They're legitimate.
Legitimate complaints.
Like
other
dog poop.
complaints are like, my God. The dog shit. You love complaining about dog shit.
I was the poop fairy for the first 6 months that we lived here.
You were walking around picking up other people's dog shit.
Correct.
Now, if my dog takes a shit next to other shit, I will pick up his shit. I will leave the other dog shit. Not my dog, not my problem. That's what I say. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to pick up someone else's shit. If your dog is if you're such a nasty person that you're going to leave someone else, you're going to leave that shit there. But then I kind of feel obliged, like I have to pick it up, because then I'm like, what if the neighbor
thinks that
that's my dog shit?
Right.
I'm over here picking up the shit, but he crapped right next to another crap.
It looks like bears are shitting.
There's a couple of big dogs out there. I'll say that. There's a couple of big fucking dogs. And my dog, this guy's got loose stool. Okay. He doesn't have good clumps, okay? So when this dog shits, it stains the grass.
You're just picking up blades.
Yeah. I just start ripping out half of their sod, But there's a guy in the group. He hates that people park on the street.
Yeah.
And it drives me kind of crazy because it's like, who's it really hurting? I don't park in the street, okay? And as long as someone doesn't park their car in front of my house who's not hanging out in my house.
I'm parked in front of you.
That's fine. Because you're visiting, right? So
right.
But it's like my neighbor, all right? Now he's going to see this. I don't give a shit, John. I'm calling you out. All right? If you have your friends over your house, don't park in front of my house. Park in front of your fucking house. Block your driveway. Do what you got to do. Don't park your cars in front of my house all day long. Got a little bit of a problem with that.
Well, there's the whole strip on the other side of your street.
Yeah, there's no reason for you to park right in front of my house.
There isn't on our street, though.
True.
So, but even the straightaway right down here where it says no parking zone, where there's no houses there and it's just wide open, I'm like,
why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, like why can't somebody just park there? I don't see what the big deal is, and that's HOAs. It's like we're paying them to police us.
Yeah.
Really, because they don't do any of the lawn care.
Right.
They don't do shit. It's like all we're paying them to do is they take our money and then they're like, yo, you can't have lights on your soffit.
You can't
dude.
leave your trash can on the side of your house.
So that's what you got.
Yeah.
You can't leave the trash cans on the side of your house. So
they either want them to stink up your garage in the hot Florida summer or put them behind your fence if you have a fence.
Yeah. Well, we have to drag them through the grass because ours are back here. Well, it looks like that's what you guys are going to have to do, dude.
Jeremy already did it, and I'm annoyed. I wanted to be like, we're not moving the trash cans. It's petty. And I feel like there's so many other things that are like important versus like my trash cans being on the side of my house.
Well, the one guy that he loves, I don't know the guy's name, but he loves complaining about cars parked on the street.
If it's who I think.
This guy has a fucking golf cart. So to me, it's like, dude, you can't drive around this community in a golf cart and then complain that there's cars parked in the street. You're also in the wrong.
Yeah.
Like they could tell you that you can't have that golf cart here.
Does the HOA even know that there's 38 people driving?
The HOA president has one.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
The HOA president has a golf cart. They put cameras out on the fucking...
Right.
I mean, to me, that was like, well, all right, we're doing cameras now at the gates, which is cool. Like, all right. But to me, it's like the president of the organization is hanging the cameras.
Like who's getting the stream, basically?
Yeah. I mean, I am right about that, right, Danielle? Like it was the president that was hanging those. I don't know.
No. It's not. That's not the HOA president.
It's not the same guy, I don't think. Nobody can hear Danielle right now, but she's basically describing a Filipino guy, which nobody knows who the HOA president is, but he's calling the shots, dude. So, but it's time for it's an election year.
It is.
And you had said at one point that you wanted to run for president.
I tried last year when we were doing the nomination things, and there was probably 3 people out of that whole building that were like, I voted for you. And I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. I appreciate that. But
dude, I'll vote for you. All right.
In the meantime, everybody else.
We got to come up with a strong campaign. All right. We got to have signs. We got to have slogans.
Are we handing out bumper stickers?
Dana does it right, or something. Dana will clear up the streets, It should be like Dana for HOA president. She'll look the other way. Which is like a good campaign slogan if you're in an HOA, because people don't want you to snitch on them. Everybody wants you to look the other way.
Right. However, the other half of the people that are there voting are all of the ones that are on the same side.
I know.
As the
It's
golf
like
cart driving.
True. It's the liberals against the conservatives in this bitch, isn't it? Like when you think about it, it's like micro politics, like down into a small community where like half of the people are older. Mm-hmm. They have like, their golf carts, but they don't want the kids to fish in the fucking lake. And it's like, dude, there's a huge lake out there. Mm-hmm. Why can't kids fish? If you live on that lake, cast the line, dude. That's what I say. Mm-hmm. If you don't live on that lake and you want to go to the backside where the woods are, why can't you go fishing there?
Because it's not permitted.
Right, but if it's catch and release, and just say it's catch and release, like the fish, like you don't want to catch those fish. You don't want to eat those fish.
Fuck no.
But there's probably some like largemouth bass in there.
One of our neighbors has been doing catch and release, and he said that he got tilapia and bass, and Jeremy was like, I wouldn't eat that if I were you.
No, definitely don't eat that.
No.
Because there's a lot of pesticides, you know, like
Oh, yeah.
there's spraying pesticides like crazy. So like, yeah, it's freshwater fish, but at the end of the day, like that's not real fresh
But they're like
water.
mutant.
Yeah, dude, you eat that fish, you're gonna wake up with an arm growing out of your forehead.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, don't eat that. Don't eat the fish out of there. But if you want to catch and release, I don't see what the big problem is. If you want, Valentina and I were, dude, the dog is now licking his nuts. He's knocking over the
Thanks,
the
Yogi.
podcast table. Chill, dog. All right, thank you. Do that somewhere else, please. Out of my line of sight. Valentina, we were walking the dog, and she's like, "Could you take a kayak in there?" And I'm like, "Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you be able to? I mean, as long as you don't you're not bothering nobody. I mean, what's the deal?"
You're not. That's for sure not permitted.
That's definitely not permitted. What about an RC boat?
I feel like somebody was doing that either the first summer or maybe last year that we were here, and it was someone complained, you can't do that. I'm like, are you kidding?
Right. What's the point of it?
Like, we live right by water. Like, we are just supposed to look at it. You can't do absolutely anything else that has to do with it.
I guess so. That's gay, dude. Every once in a while, I do kind of regret
choosing
an HOA.
Same.
But we looked at a house outside of the community that was a new build.
Mm-hmm.
And the only issue with that is that there was no street lights.
Yep.
No sidewalks.
Same.
And I was like, I can't have my wife walking the dogs at night.
Yeah. Well, and that was one of the selling points for us too. I mean, where we came from, the city that we came from didn't have
in California.
Yes.
So let's talk about that.
Hold on a second. There were HOA communities obviously within California, but where we were, there weren't. It was like developments, but not HOA specifically.
Right.
Streetlights, sidewalks, like you're on city water, like that was the primary way that things were built. When we came here and they mentioned scattered lot, we were like, what the fuck is that? Like, what do you mean? So for us, when we went to look at stuff, there were a couple new builds that we saw when we were there, but the neighbor was like the Beverly Hillbillies, you know, and had like their boats and, you know, their 13 cars, and it just looked like shit. And we were like, well, we don't want to be next door to that. Like,
right.
So the HOA thing was like, okay, sidewalks, streetlights, you know, like city water. We don't have to worry about septic or, well, you know, dealing with any of that crap. And we don't have to worry about our neighbors having a shitty looking house, and we're taking care of ours. So that was like the selling point for us to do HOA. In retrospect, we're like, damn, maybe it would have been okay to deal with a septic tank versus like getting a damn notice about our trash cans being on the side of our house. Like, it just is so like petty and annoying, you know, it's just annoying.
And not every single house in this community looks good. Like, they all look the same. But there's some people's front yards and some people's gardens where I'm like, dude,
like,
I mean,
fines have you gotten?
At least turn your sprinkler system on. You know what I mean? Like the grass is just totally fucking dead. And it's like, come on, but like, you're not even trying. You know? Do they get a notification and just say, hey, the fucking grass is dead, dude? The grass is fucking brown.
I mean, the only thing that I guess is kind of like the loophole in it is that some of them are renters. And so the renter is getting the notice. The landlord's getting the notice.
And he don't give a shit. Why would he care? He don't give a shit. Oh God. HOAs, dude.
It's a good
it's a ripoff is what it is. You know.
Yeah.
It's a joke, not a funny one, but they are a joke. You're paying this money, and basically you're paying
like,
for
I don't get in trouble, and you're like, it's my house. Like, I'm paying my mortgage. Like,
yeah, you're paying for like some 72-year-old man to police your property. Do you remember when we went to the election? The only one that I've ever been to. Like, we were electing the HOA.
The first time?
The first time around.
Because you guys weren't at. Oh wait, this last one. Oh,
I didn't go to the last one.
That was the one that I tried running.
Well, I remember it was the first one, I think, that you had also.
But I was late.
You were late. Yeah, you had talked about it, and you showed up late. I remember that. Yeah, and you basically had one. You had Trump against Biden, essentially, right? You had one guy who's his campaign speech, because you get like 60 seconds to kind of summarize everything that you stand for,
like your goal,
your goals as running the HOA. Okay, here it is. Okay, I swear to God, I'm not even being dramatic on this. There was 3 guys they chose, okay, to run against each other.
At the first one.
The first guy stands up. He's like, listen, all I care about is I want to make sure that everybody's house has green lawn in front of it, that your lawn is kept nice. And as long as your lawn is kept cut and it's green, I don't give a shit what you guys do. You know what I mean? That was like his. And everybody's like, yeah, this guy, go green lawn. Then the next guy comes up and he's like, listen, my neighbor's Spanish. I don't speak a lick of it, but she's a nice lady. And every once in a while, I go out there, I say, hola, and I've been,
shut your.
I'm not even joking. This is like his campaign speech was like how he's not a racist. Okay. I'm dead serious. And then the third guy comes out and he's like, listen, I've worked for HOAs before. I know how they work. I know how, I know the laws in them and everything like that. And I figured I could probably help us out here if you guys elect me.
You're like, whose side are you on, though?
Right. Are you on the green lawns? He was like, he was like the good candidate. He was like a normal guy that was just like, hey, I can help out here. I know what the rules are. I know what the laws look like. The other guy is like yelling about racism. And the other guy is talking about like making sure that your front lawns all are green.
You're like, these are our fucking options.
And they chose the guy with the green lawn. That's who they chose. They didn't choose like the guy who was like the normal straight edge guy, which is funny because that's what we did as a country. We didn't choose the normal guy, right? We chose like the 2 like insane people to run against each other, like these 2 people that are like so different and barking at each other. And it's like, yeah. And that was like 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. The last one I didn't go to because I was like, what a joke it is.
It was a good time. But there was like 16 of us that were trying to run last time.
Everybody's
like, I'm tired of this. I want to do this. Oh, I have experience with this. Oh, I'm an ex this or that. Like, okay, like some people had like experience that was moderately relevant. And I was just like, listen, I'm tired of cleaning up after your fucking dogs. Like,
yeah.
And like, we genuinely don't live in a retirement community. So if we could stop treating it that way and like be cool with like people fishing or kids playing in the yard or riding their little like mini
bikes
thing.
Yeah, that was a big thing too.
So it's more like I wanted it to be more of like a family oriented thing. If you want to be in a 55 and over community, there's in the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah, like, there's plenty of those out there.
So it's annoying that it ends up getting like treated as that.
Yeah,
a lot of the
and those people should understand too that there's families here.
They don't care,
and it's like they want to be in a community where there is families, but they don't want family shit to happen.
Mm-hmm. Don't have fun. Don't do anything fun.
Which is crazy because that in their neighborhood when they were growing up, they were riding mopeds and they were acting crazy. Yeah. So like, who gives a shit? Like, what the fuck is going on here? But hey, that's the world that we live in now. And we're just gonna like pick each other apart on Facebook, HOA, and bark at each other over dog shit and parking spaces.
It's super petty, but it's like I think it's so on like
I will say this, when I'm driving home, like, and I used to work like in the middle of the night, so driving home and it's dark out, you don't see cars parked on the side of the road. You don't see them until you're up on them. Like I just knew like I had to stay right in the middle of the street, because if they're parked on the wrong side, you don't see the reflectors
right.
on the back of the car. So, you know,
So
I'd
people are
come up
parking
on a
the
car.
opposite direction than they're supposed to.
Right. And if you got cars on both sides, if they allowed everybody to do it, if they allowed one person, they have to allow everybody to do it. Right. So, and if you have both sides of the road just cluttered with vehicles, you got a very tight area right in the middle of all of them.
Yeah. And then I guess the concern is like emergency vehicles.
And if you have I'll tell you what, you wouldn't get one through here. If there was a fire, you wouldn't get one through here if there was a bunch of cars parked on the street. There's no way. But I do get it. I get it. I get that argument. It's like, don't bitch at them, but at the same time, it's like, I do get it.
There's nowhere else for overflow parking though.
There is no overflow parking.
So people that have teenage drivers, or they're, a multi-generational, type home, maybe, they have like a husband and wife and their kids and, their adult children or whatever living with them. If you have more than 2 drivers in your house and your garage is full of shit because the houses don't have storage.
Very true too.
Then what are you supposed to do? And that's Mr. Rootin' tootin', don't park on the streets thing. Well, just park in your garage. Well, we can't all use our garage because we have stuff in them.
Yeah.
So
there's a guy down the street from us. When we walk the dog at night, we walk by him. He's got six cars at any given time. He'll have 2 in the garage and 4 in the driveway. Yeah, I don't know who lives in that house, but he runs a damn chauffeur business or something. I don't know what's going on. Not a chauffeur. What do they call that?
Escort.
Yeah, an escort business. I don't know. He runs some type of business that he's got a bunch of cars out in front of the house. I'm like, damn. But the thing is, he can't close the garage door, so I think he's got to leave the garage door open all night long.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So the garage is like constantly open. So what else is going on? What aside from you wanting to run for the HOA president?
I don't want to.
Now you wax people's butts, dude.
I do.
Which is crazy. Let's talk about it.
I wax all of the things. Let me be more specific. On women, I wax all of the things, and on men, I only wax waist up.
Okay. Now, is that by choice?
Yeah.
Okay. So is there women in there that will wax the undercarriage of a man?
2 of us.
Okay. How many women are working?
4.
Okay. Now, you went to school for this.
5, but 2 of us only do male clients like that.
It sounds like a painful.
I'm sure it's not super awesome. I mean, it's the.
You don't do it. You don't do that?
I don't do the male clients. No.
No. I'm saying, like,
I receive that service.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It's fun.
It's fun?
It's not fun.
Wait, it's hot wax.
You can't wax with cold wax. It would be hard.
Right.
It wouldn't spread.
Now, Danielle and I had talked about waxing my butthole.
Okay. She's like, did we?
We did talk about this. You don't remember that?
James may have had this conversation with himself. That's more like.
And I was like, I wonder. But you would not be the person that I would go to.
By choice. He's like, who else is available today? Because Dana's not.
She only does guys from the waist up, But there's guys that go in there and they get like their underarms waxed, their pits waxed.
I don't know. I mean, one of the girls that I work with has a few male clients that do like full arms, chest, back, undercarriage, legs, like everything.
How long does it take for the hair to grow back? Why do women prefer that treatment over going and like just shaving or whatever?
Waxing essentially like thins the regrowth. So it's not coming in as thick, and it comes in like I've been waxing my legs for like a year and a half, and it used to be like really coarse. I would get really bad razor burn. Like that was all part of why I started doing it. And now I get waxed like every 4 weeks.
Oh, really? So like once a month?
And it's like patchy. It's not like if I didn't shave.
It's like peach fuzzish.
But darker.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just like.
Does the second time around hurt less than the first time?
I would say probably after like the third time, it's less. Okay. Because the second time is still like kind of new.
Yeah.
But the undercarriage one doesn't get any easier. The legs and every other extremity.
I used to get my eyebrows threaded.
Oh.
That fucking hurts.
That
dude.
Looks like it hurts.
It hurts. But I will say this. If you do it consistently, like if I went to go do it right now, my eyes would be like all red around the area. You know, you want to like
cold compress.
Yeah. It looks horrible. You know, it looks like you got a sunburn on your eyeballs, you know? If you do it like every couple of weeks, not so bad.
That's how often you would have to do it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, maybe like once every 3 weeks or so.
Okay.
Why? That's a lot, you think?
That's kind of frequent. I mean, people that like women.
I mean, as often as you would like.
But your hair grows quickly. Like you can grow a beard. If
you could grow a beard like in a week.
You could grow a beard.
Yeah, I can grow a beard in a week. Easy.
Do you trim your eyebrows now?
Shave.
Oh.
Why you say
like with one of like the little ones or like a regular razor?
No, like the backside of the razor, you know?
Oh, okay.
You're saying that in a way like I shouldn't be doing that.
I don't care what you do with your eyebrows.
Well, I know that you don't care. But you're saying it in a way like, you know, did you not know that that's how guys do it?
Jeremy doesn't trim his eyebrows.
No?
No.
Does he rock a uni or what?
He doesn't get anything there.
No. Wow. Great eyebrows on that guy.
I wax his arm where his tattoo is. I do his nose, like nostrils.
Oh, wow.
And his ears, because he's getting old. So he's getting the little old man hairs.
See, now I have one of those trimmers that goes right up in the nose.
Yeah, that's what he was using. But I mean, he'd get one that would grow faster than the others, you know, that would like stick out.
Oh, dude, those nostrils are probably crystal clean in there.
That first breath after you pull the wax out is the best.
Oh, yeah, I would imagine so. We should do that. We should do like a live of that.
Of you getting your nostrils waxed?
Yes.
It's not bad. And he was so scared.
I got a lot of hair in my nostrils too.
You won't.
It probably makes your eyes like tear up and shit. Sneezing. If I pull one hair out of my nose,
but it's all
I start sneezing like crazy.
He was so scared the first time that we did it. He was like, literally, like I'm standing in front of him going to pull it, and he put his hand on my arm and he goes, "I'm nervous."
Yeah, dude, I can see why you would be nervous.
Me the first time?
Oh my god, it's
like,
so funny.
Oh my god. So then this last time that we did it, I got the wax in there and I'm doing other stuff, and he's like, "Is this ready?" Like a few minutes had passed, and I was like, "Go ahead and pull it." And
it gets hard.
Yeah. The hard wax does, because there's two different.
Yeah.
So the hard wax is what I use for it. But he's like, "Isn't this ready?" I said, "Go ahead and pull it. Like, you know what to do." So he's like, "Okay." He just did it, and it was
just
fine.
Ripped it out.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
I feel like it would hurt so bad.
I wish Dad was here so he could vouch for that.
And what about the ears? The ears too?
They're fast. There's not a lot that's in there, but there's enough little strays that like I have an older male client. You might have seen my story on TikTok about the guy who told me about how he met his wife. Did you see that?
Oh, I did see that.
So he comes in to get his ears waxed. He's an older man and he wears hearing aids. So he gets his ears waxed because it helps with his hearing aids not muffle.
Oh, got you.
So he has hairy ears, but he's old.
Yeah.
So he's got like the furry, really furry, like old man ears.
My grandfather, he used to have really hairy ears. We used to tease him about it.
Poor guy.
Yeah. And when he died, they had an open casket and they shaved the inside of his ears
Shut your
and
face.
shaved the inside of his nose. And let me tell you something. It was like,
It's
who the fuck is
unrecognizable.
this guy? It's like, I don't know that man,
That is
dude.
not Papa.
Yeah, that's not Pop. Who's that guy? Because he was like, no, like we used to, as like his grandkids, like used to tease him about it, you
That's
know?
kind of funny that they did that.
Yeah, they like groomed him in ways that we weren't like really accustomed to seeing him groomed, you know.
That's
But I guess it would be kind of weird if he was in the casket and he had these hairy ears and nose.
no. Leave him alone.
What do you think about the open casket thing? You think people should do that?
I think that.
Are you trying to go out that way?
No.
You want to do the ashes? Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Cremation?
torn with it. I'm torn with it. I want to get blown out of a cannon.
Why does
I want to get blown out of a cannon into a bucket.
Danielle, why does that not surprise me? Like, even the tiniest bit. Like Jackass.
Just my limp
Status.
body. Just fucking flying across the ground. Oh my God. While everybody's sitting there waving a flag.
Yeah.
The American
like
flag,
blowing,
not the
like-
Nazi flag.
like
Because if there was one of people like, waving the swastikas around while I'm getting
You're like,
shot
no,
out of
not
gas.
that one.
I gotta clarify, dude. There's a lot of people out there. You know what I mean?
Specify which.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The American flag. I don't want no other flags at my funeral.
I think with open casket, a lot of the time it's your religious background. Like a lot of, I think, like Catholic
Yeah.
goes that route. And I mean, I guess, I don't know, it might just be preference, but I feel like a lot of the time it is just like religious. Like that's what you do. You get, you do like the wake and
Yeah, we do that
That's-
whole thing.
like it's a lot.
I grew up Catholic. Did you grow up Catholic? Where'd you grow up?
Nothing.
Nothing.
My mom, like when I was really little, my mom and my dad were part of church, but after he passed away, she left the church scene and we weren't raised with any kind of like religious.
Where are you at spiritually now? Like nowadays?
I am agnostic.
So like
So like I believe that there is a higher power, so to speak, but I don't feel like it's specifically like God.
got
or
you.
Jesus or whatever. Like it's just like there's something, but it doesn't have a specific name.
I think like in a way, I'm kind of the same way. In a weird way. Yeah, because I still read the Bible. I go to church every single Sunday. But I also, and Danielle and I have had like some conversations, like some deep conversations where sometimes I just like, I don't know what this is. Like the world is, and I go into, I'll go out there sometimes.
I can only imagine.
Especially right around 10 o'clock at night.
Like your witching hour.
That's my witching hour. We're walking the dog at night and I'll be like, dude, what is this place? You know? Like I'll see the moon and I'll just like, I don't know. And sometimes I'm like, is this place rotating like they claim? Like this is all so weird to me. That I'm here, like right now, right here, right now. What the fuck is this? Like this is all crazy to me.
There's been too many instances where I feel like this is a simulation. Like this, like things that happen, whether it be like catastrophic events, like just weird shit. I'm like, is this real life? Like, is this really what's happening? Or is this just like who's controlling the game, so to speak?
Yeah.
And that's just,
maybe that is God.
I don't like putting a name on it.
Right. I got what you're saying.
But for some of the things that happen, I'm like, why would you allow that to happen?
We were talking about reincarnation, and I was thinking to myself, like, maybe reincarnation is a real thing. Maybe not where we come back in another body per se, but maybe we get reincarnated into another thing, or like our energy
Your
somehow.
spirit.
Yeah, the spirit somehow like just manifests. It goes from like thing to thing, and it found a home right here in my meat suit. But like
My meat suit. Back to waxing.
But yeah, I feel like yeah, maybe like after this one is done, like it'll be in a dog or God knows what, you know?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think you won't remember any of this because your memories are in your brain. It's not attached to the spirit, but like I feel like the spirit does have some type of genealogical DNA attached to it
What
in
about,
some way, like a memory attached to it.
What about like the little kids that say stuff about like, oh, like I was in the war. Like
Oh yeah, that's kind of
you know, like that shit's crazy. And you're like, there's no way that you could possibly know that. So like who
That's
is your
weird.
spirit? Like where did you really
Yeah,
come
where
from?
did it
And
go?
they're like 3. So I mean, these aren't
That's true. I have seen those stories, and that shit is wild. Like to think that, like there was this one that I seen of this kid talking about how he got shot down in World War II. He's like 7 years old. You're like, whoa.
And they're like so serious about it. And you're
Yeah,
like,
he was very
what?
serious about it. But then he grew up and he kind of like forgot about it. You know, have you ever seen like an infant? They're like just looking up into the corner and they're laughing and giggling and shit.
Right.
And you're like, what? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I think there might be like something to that too.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Because,
like they see
their eyes can't
spirits or
focus.
whatever. Yeah. Or that.
They're
Yeah.
just like, what is this weird shit that's floating around?
Or maybe it's just that they like that veil hasn't been created. You know, that veil is created like over time, like when, you know, the more that they're surrounded by people and adults and we're going to show them books and this and that. But like when they're at their youngest, most immature mind, they don't know any of that shit. So they're just like, whoa, this shit is fucking crazy, you know? I seen this guy did this fantastic. Oh, I'm gonna give it to you too. So there's 2 babies, right? Check this out, right? There's 2 babies that are in the womb. All right, they're twins. They're twinning it. Okay, they're in the womb, and the one baby says to the other baby, like, "What do you think life is like outside of the womb?" And the other baby's like, "What do you mean? Like after the womb, there's nothing. It's darkness. It's black." He's like, "Don't you think that there might be a possibility that like we can run around and we can eat and we can play and we can do like all these other things?" And he's like, "No, because the umbilical cord gives us life. And we're in the womb because the womb is safe. There's no life outside of this, like, you know?" And the one baby is telling him like, "But don't you think that maybe we'll be able to eat with our mouths one day?" And the baby's like, "No, because like the umbilical cord gives us life. It gives us all the food and the nutrients. Everything that we need is right here. And we'll always be attached to mother." And the other baby's like, "Well, maybe there's something outside of here."
Those are 2 very interesting
babies. Did I not do a good job of describing that?
It's like, look who's talking, but like.
But here's the thing, right? Is that like, isn't that kind of like what we're dealing with right here, right now? Is like, we always wonder, like, what is outside of this world when we die? You know, because like the baby's life is just beginning. But in the womb, it doesn't know any better. In the womb, it's like, yeah, I got 9 months. I got 9 months. Yeah, I got 9 months to live. You know what I mean? But here on this earth, like we think to ourselves, oh, we got 80 years. What happens after this?
So today I was like, and Danielle is now at this point too with her age. I'm a little bit older, but I'm like midlife. Like people aren't living to 100 anymore. Like 80-ish, you know, is the life expectancy. And I'm like, yeah. I am due for a midlife crisis. Like, have
you ever had one?
No.
You say that like you're disappointed, you want one.
I was telling one of the girls at work about it, and she's like, haven't you had like earlier life crisis though? Like, so maybe that is why. She's like, you don't need to have a midlife crisis, like just because. She's like, and you're gonna live past 80. I'm like, you don't know shit.
True, but I mean, you don't know if you're gonna
somebody knock? Oh, Jeremy might be here. Yogi's like, I'm just letting you know somebody's here.
It's we live in like you never know. Tomorrow could be the last day.
Right.
You could get hit by a bus tomorrow.
I'd rather not. I mean,
I don't want to get hit by a bus, neither, right? Like we want to live this like long, fruitful existence as, around our families and our kids, and we want to watch them grow up and have kids of their own. But like tomorrow it could all end.
Yeah.
Listen to this dog. My Dana's husband has arrived and the dog is giving a warm welcome
via growling.
Via growling. Yeah, the dog is nuts, dude. But that's probably a good place to wrap it up, honestly.
Okay.
I think this was really fun.
It was. It wasn't as terrifying as I was anticipating.
Yeah, you were scared. You were scared. You were nervous about it.
I was nervous.
There's no reason to be.
No.
It's just like a fun conversation.
I think if there was like a real life camera versus like just this little
out
of the periffs, it would be a little bit more like daunting.
You do something that I have a hard time with, which is you go on like right to your camera and go on TikTok and tell like a story about your day. I can't do it. I feel like I stutter too much. Like I can't get my words out.
A few times.
Oh, you go.
I'm like,
you have takes.
I'm like, that looks stupid.
But you still do it, right?
Yeah.
You get over that hump of fear. I can't do that. So I'm sure you've heard. I'm writing a book.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm about 80 pages into this book. I really wanted to promote it like coming out. So I really wanted to do these podcasts like every single week and get it out there. And I wanted to talk to a lot of different people and not about anything specific. Like I'm glad that just as a neighbor and as a friend that you would want to come and sit down with me and just have a chat. It's hard to concentrate with the dog is in the background.
Oh, he's fine.
No, it can't hear that. But yeah, it was when you just go pick up your camera and just like hit record and just start speaking your mind. Fuck, dude, that scares me. I can do this all day long, but that scares the shit out of me, and I know I got to get over that hump.
I think it's just like the vulnerability of it, and you're just like, literally millions of people are doing this shit like all day. Like, okay, like I might get 150 views on it, but the ones that I have posted lately are getting views from people that aren't my regular.
You don't even know. Like the next one could be millions.
It's
like the way shit happens, it pop like something that you say, a facial expression, the place that you did it, something where that story that you are telling about a day at work could catapult you into 5 million views. And you don't even think twice about it.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what scares me about it. Or maybe it's not the 5 million potential people that will see it. It's the thought that 10 people will see it.
I think I'm more nervous about it being people I know versus people I don't know.
Interesting.
Because I see them, like
like you know them.
They're friends of mine. They're clients of mine that have become friends. And I mean, the context of our conversations when they're in my treatment room are no different. Like I'm not a different personality when I'm having conversations with them during their service than what I would have. Well, maybe a conversation that I would have. But like the personality doesn't change a whole lot. Like it's pretty consistent. So I don't know. I guess it's the vulnerability of the topic. Like just if I'm having a more like soft moment versus like a funny moment or something, then it's like, damn, I don't know if I want to share this. Like, who's gonna see it? If it's different. So I don't know.
Well, thanks, Dana.
You're welcome.
Thanks for doing this with me.
You're welcome.
This was a lot of fun.
It was.
Yeah, and just to get to like know you on a different, than our average. I think that's why I love doing these podcasts. Even when it was Danielle and I doing it together, like sometimes we'd have conversations and I'm like,
We've never talked about
we've never
this.
talked about this.
Yeah.
And you don't even realize like we go through the routine of life and
The day to day.
And when you're not actually sitting and having that like one-to-one conversation with somebody. And
have you found anything out about her recently that you haven't known in all of the years that you've been together?
God, yeah.
Like, what do you want? Probably over the last 5 years, I found out. Okay, so Jeremy and I have been together since 2007.
Okay.
So we're coming up on 18 years this summer being together.
Okay.
So probably.
So you guys got, all right. So Danielle and I got together in 2008.
Okay.
Okay.
So probably within the last 5 years, I found out for the first time ever since us being together that his favorite cookie is a peanut butter cookie. And I was like, hold the fucking phone. Like, how is this just now something that I'm learning about you? And he's like, I don't know. Because I was like, what? Like,
yeah, has it always been?
It was new information. I was like, this is so weird. Like,
I feel like I learned something new about Danielle, you know, especially because she was coming up on her 40th.
Yeah.
And that was like, that was a big change in both of our lives because it felt like there was a shift for her. And when there was a shift for her, there was a shift for me. And then I was like,
what's your age difference?
I'm older than her by, my birthday's in September. So
are you
9 months, 11.
Are you turning 40?
I'm going to be 41.
Okay.
I don't look it though, do I?
You look way older.
Good answer. Thank you guys so much for joining us here. I want to pick this up. We're going to have to do this again.
Yes.
All right. Thanks,
Agreed.
Dana.
You're welcome.
Thanks for tuning in to the Urban Movement Podcast with James and Danielle Urban.
James wants
Be
to
sure
know
to
how
follow,
it
like,
feels
and
to
share on
get your nose
Instagram,
waxed.
YouTube, and TikTok.
Among
at
other-
Urban
We were
Movement
talking about
Podcast
your
crevices.
for even
waxing
more
and your
content.
wax.
And don't forget to connect with your hosts, James and Danielle, on X at @TheJamesUrban and at Danielle_Urban_. Keep moving forward and embracing your journey with us